told yesterday that I'll be preaching on the rich young ruler. The rich young ruler. I guess my question would be, to start things off, just to kind of get our minds thinking a little bit, is I wonder how often people actually do an internal check. You know, I hate to use the word a gut check, but do an internal check to actually look internally and evaluate where they are, where we are spiritually, where we are spiritually. To do something like that and be honest with ourselves. To be honest, like, hey, I'm not where I need to be, or I need to do better in this area, or hey, I'm doing pretty good in this area, but I might want to work on this to get things right for the Lord. And I guess that to do that, we have to be honest, because when someone else tells us that, we kind of get upset about it, you know? It's like, hey, I want to ask you something. I want to give you some constructive criticism. Yeah, I want to slap you upside the head is what they ought to tell you. Hey, I got something bad to tell you. It's constructive criticism. I'm trying to help you become better. We all take offense to that, don't we? Like, I don't see it that way. And the problem is that we come from a society that wants to pass the buck. We don't want to say we're guilty. We don't want to say, hey, I am that man. That's what David said to Nathan, right? I'll just tell you how my week's been. My wife calls me or sends me a text. You know, we don't talk to each other. In fact, we could be sitting at the same table and just text back and forth. I was at work and she sent me a text. Someone hit the mailbox. We live out on a road that's kind of narrow, and where we live at, our driveway is at the crest of this little hill, and it kind of shifts, and people drive, 65 back there. It's just good. And I had one of them real tough double-walled mailboxes, you know, it's got the little slots you could put the advertiser in down the bottom, and then it's got the mailbox, and then you could go to the backside and do the same thing. And it was on that real cold day, what was it, Thursday? No, it wasn't Thursday, mailed it around on Thursday. It was Wednesday. It was Wednesday, I was working, and someone hit that thing, and would you believe, snapped it in two. While it was between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it had mail in it. I'm not sure where the bills are at. I'm not sure they'll let me use that as an excuse. But here's the thing. No one stopped. No one stopped. Now, let me just continue that story a little bit further, because people do not like to admit they've done anything wrong. In 10 years, this is the second time that has happened. I lived there for 10 years, and the second time it happened. All right? The first time, I'm on the little yard tractor, the lawnmower, and I'm driving up I'm headed towards the mailbox, and I see the girl who lives 2 houses down clip my mailbox. Shatters it. Shatters her mirror too. Just, and I just went, and she saw me. Still never stopped. I watched her in the act, and she was like, did I do that? Yeah. Now here's the thing. Society this is what happened, because I told someone about this, it might even be my dad, I don't know, but we have programmed ourselves to make it my fault. I was telling someone about my mailbox getting broken, and they said, how close is your mailbox to the road? I don't know who that was. It could have been Dad, I don't know. But I will tell you that realistically, it's been hit a third time, and that second time, track. I was out there the next day. I can't believe I hit that stupid thing.
Probably on his phone.
I wasn't on the phone, I was just leaving the house.
He's
So anyway,
You bet he's on his phone.
no one likes to admit they're guilty, and if we can justify it being someone else's fault, even if it's not, it is. Now, just a sidebar, I found one of them mailboxes that's on a pivot. We call it the carnival mailbox at our house. So that if you hit it goes or spins back around. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's self-level. I bought one of them. I said, "I'll treat you."
Yes.
Break that, Mr. Lambert, when you hit it next time. Okay. Might not scratch my truck. It's going out of the way this time. But we don't like to think of ourselves as being wrong. Those are the hardest words to say. Would you guys practice with me just for a second? Now I'm going to watch every one of you, see if you can say them. Because they're two tough words to say. Are you ready? And this is what I want you to say. I'm wrong. Somebody didn't say it. I heard I got hands going up in the back. I ain't saying that. I don't care about that. It's hard to say it, especially to our spouses. So if it's hard to say to our spouse, someone we love, how hard is it to say to ourselves? I'm wrong in that area. I'm sorry. How about to God? Do you ever think that we kind of act like we're not wrong with God? Tonight we're going to look at the rich young ruler. I got to say that slow, else it won't come out right. And I want us to look at that and take a look where we are, where he is spiritually. So I want to have prayer and jump right into it. Can we do that? Can we do it? Let's pray. Father God, I come to you right now. I just thank you so much for your word and how it speaks to us. And Father, as we look at the rich young ruler, Father, we just ask that you would just help us to look at our lives. Those words that we are wrong, we are sorry, we have sinned, we have done wrong, are so hard to say at times. We have been accustomed to blame everybody else, to just justify it. Father, when it comes to sin, when it comes to our lives, when it comes to our spiritual walk, Father, we are held accountable for our own walk. So help us to look internally at ourselves and just apply this story, Father, to our lives tonight. We love you. We thank you. We ask it in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so Mark chapter 10, verse 17 through 22. Let's see what the Bible says. As he was setting out on a journey, a man ran up to him and knelt before him and asked him, "Good teacher, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus said to him, "Why do you call me good? No one is good except God alone. You know the commandments. Do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not bear false witness, do not defraud, honor your father and mother." And he said to him, "Teacher, I have kept all these things from my youth up." Looking at him, Jesus felt love for him and said to him, "One thing you lack. Go and sell all your possessions and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. And come, follow me." Verse 22. But at these words he was saddened, and he went away grieving, for he was one who owned much property. Most of us growing up in church probably heard this story from time to time. I've even seen it acted out in dramas. Sonia, we've seen some of those before. But we've probably heard this story about the rich young ruler who had a lot of possessions and couldn't get rid of them and was saddened and walked away from Jesus. So let me ask you this. What if I said that you sitting here tonight are the rich young ruler? You are the rich young ruler. Rich young ruler. You say, "Well, I'm not rich. I'm not a ruler." verse 22. The reason I say that is because if you look at verse 22, at these words he was sad and he went away grieving, for he was one who owned much property. We can say that the majority of Americans, and if you talk to anyone who goes overseas or goes to another country, and I'm not going to say third world countries. I'm talking about if you go to another country, Americans are rich. And I'm not saying you got to own a lot of stuff. I'm not saying you got to have a lot of property. I'm just saying you could be up to here in debt, but you are rich compared to other countries and other people with the amount of clothes we have, the amount of the things that we own that we could really do without, but yet we are considered rich. Just waiting. Does anyone have the iPhone 10? It's out, isn't it? Nobody. Anybody got the latest, greatest? I just can't. I can't justify spending $1,000 for a phone that I might slip and drop. Okay? There's a lot of things, and as I get older, I start thinking about this thing. I went and bought a $59 antenna from Sam's Club to stick on my television. And I stick that thing in the window, and we get the Me channel. Me. You know what the Me channel is?
Yes.
Carol Burnett, MASH, Buffy and Jody, what's the name of that show? Family Affair. I'm telling you, it's on there.
Mama's Family.
For $59. I'm like, I don't need anything else. That's all I need. But we as Americans are rich, and we can be considered the rich young ruler because we have a lot of things. We have a lot of possessions. We have a lot of clothes. All right, don't raise your hands. I don't want to embarrass anyone. Anyone got clothes in their closet that haven't touched in over a year? I told you right now, these pants I got on right here are probably at least 7 years old. But I pulled them out of clothes and they had dust on them. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of stuff. We got things, a lot of things. So we can be considered rich. Look at the 2 words. I want us to look at 2 words in verse 17.
I've seen the basement cleans.
Is that right? Yeah. Yes. The last 2 words, verse 17. Eternal life. What shall I do to inherit eternal life? The words eternal life do not mean eternal existence. We all have an eternal existence. We're all going to spend eternity somewhere. But eternal life is a person who passes from death into life through Jesus Christ. Look at John chapter 10. Put your finger in there and come back. We'll go to John chapter 10, verse 28. Who was there this morning? We'll look at John 10, 28. Jesus is talking here, and in verse 28, chapter 10, he goes, "And I give eternal life to them, and they will never perish, and no one will snatch them out of my hand." There's a difference between eternal existence and eternal life. Jesus gives us life so we can live it more abundantly. We have that life through him. And so this man walks up to Jesus, the rich young ruler, and he's saying, how can I inherit eternal life? Notice he uses the words inherit, meaning probably that he's already inherited a lot of things. He's got things kind of the easy way. You know, you all got those friends that every once in a while inherit. Boy, I come in some money. My mom and dad, I tell you what, they passed down some money. Hey, I got this new car. It got passed down to me. I inherited this. I got to pay it. Oh, it's all good. I didn't have to do anything for it. They just kind of handed it to Thanksgiving. I need to change out the tires on the car. You know, he's got those chrome tires and rims. And he's got the old Cadillac spoke wheels that come in the car. So he saved up his money and bought those other things. And then, so he needed to change those things. And he come home and goes, Dad, Papa made me change them tires myself. I said, what did you do? He said, he made me change them all, take the old ones off, put the new ones on. Well, not the new ones, just the ones, the winter version. We're rich, tell him. Anyway, he goes, I had to do it all myself. I said, well, good. When I was 16 years old, I was working in the garage. You think you're too good to change tires? He goes, no. I said, whose car is it? He goes, mine. I said, then change the tires. I was going to inherit tire swap. We want things the easy way. If I can inherit it, that's all the better. And this man wanted to inherit eternal life. Eternal life. What can I do to inherit eternal life? Jesus gave him the law as key. Jesus started naming some laws. Hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And the funny thing is, listen to me, people. The funny thing is, you know what the funny thing is about the law? The law teaches me one thing, that I can't keep the law. The law does one thing. It teaches me that I can't keep the law. It says 55, I drive 56. Sometimes I catch myself even doing faster than that, and I just not a good time for confession right now. But the law says I can't do it on my own. So he tells him these laws, hey, you need to do this, this, and honor your father and mother. And he goes, hey, I've done all those things from my youth. Look at me. Now, let's just pause just for a second. He gives him a list of 10 commandments. Do not murder.
Okay.
You okay with that one?
So far.
No.
Yeah.
Now, my wife has said she's going to kill me more than once. And I said I was going to kill her a couple times.
The money's on the right side.
I sent her a text one day and said, I love you so much, except when you're snoring, and I'll get you upside down the show. And she didn't think it was near as funny as I did. I thought it was pretty funny. All right. Do not commit adultery. No, we're not going to do it. Do not steal. Anyone ever take anything that wasn't theirs? I got 1, 2 honest people. All right. No, 3. This side over here is sanctified.
Okay, I got it.
Forgive me, it's Sunday night, okay? I'm coming one of them meetings, all right? Do not bear false witness. Anyone talking about someone else? Do not defraud. All right, let's go to the next one. Honor your father and mother. I know all of you have honored your fathers and mothers from your youth. Just when you could learn to follow the rules. Mom says, pick that up and pick it up. And mom says, hey, come to the dinner table. You come to, Dad says, go do your chores. Everybody did, you guys are all, you did that good? Oh, I'm trying to you give me a smile like, that's not really a question. Okay. So let's just be honest with each other. Do you think anyone could keep all those commandments? Even in Jesus' death? No? Okay, so he could, because he's telling the Savior of the world, God, man, that I've kept all those. Now, I know some pretty good people. Don't get me wrong. I know some pretty good people. In fact, I could say that I've met some pretty good people that probably, I'd say, oh, if you told me they did something like, oh, I can't believe that. That person right there, no, I can't believe it. They're pretty good. That's not the one I know. But let's just go to think about what Jesus says. Flash those up there for me, Valerie. Matthew chapter 5, verses 27, 28. Just write these down. Jesus says that if a man looks at a woman, the desire in their heart, they've already committed adultery. You mean that my thoughts can make me guilty of adultery because I've already thought about? Then if that's true for that, then how about murder? Bruce said, I've probably been guilty of murder because I've been mad enough times to choke some people. So, Jen, you said no one could keep those. So why do we say that? Because outwardly we can act one way and inwardly be thinking something else. And he might have been squeaky clean on the outside, but on the inside, Jesus knew his motives were completely different. And he said, I've kept all those laws from my youth. And then Jesus brings the boom. Jesus brings the boom. Look at verse 21. I'm jumping to 21 about it. Verse 21. Look. Looking at him, Jesus felt a love for him. Listen, Jesus loves all the sinners enough to die for them, right? So he loves them. He felt, oh. You ever had a kid tell you something that you know is not the truth? You go, I love you, man. I know what you're telling me is wrong. I still love you. And he goes, one thing you lack. Go and sell all you possess and give it to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Come, follow me. So, the rich young ruler, you all, the rich young rulers, do you think Jesus really wanted him to sell all his possessions and go follow him? Sell everything you got. Come follow him. Do you think he's asking that of you today? Of you tonight? Is he asking, hey Mark, I want you to sell everything you got. Come follow me. Everything you possess, get rid of it. Come follow Jesus. Is he asking that of us today? Is he asking us to do that today? Drop down to verse 29. Mark chapter 10, verse 29. Jesus talking here, he's talking to his disciples and people around him. He says, truly I say to you, there's no one who has left house or brothers or sisters, mother or father or children or farms for my sake and for the gospel's sake. So he's taking it another step. He's saying, hey, you want me to leave my mother, my brothers, my sisters? You want me to leave all my family, my children, my farms, get rid of everything, sell everything, leave all my family behind, and go follow him? Isn't that pretty deep? I mean, that's pretty hard to do. We're rich. We got to have a lot of things. We got to have the latest greatest. We got to have the HD TV. We got to have the latest cars. We got to have the newest phones. We got to have the newest technology. We got to have the iPads. We got to have all this nice stuff. What's the latest, newest toy for Christmas? Anybody know?
Fingerlings.
What are they?
It's lucky fingerling. Me and Trish get one.
Huh?
Me and Trish are getting one.
You getting a monkey?
What happened to Tickle Me Elmo? No. get in a fight at 4 o'clock in the morning at Walmart over the last fingerling. Whatever that thing is. I don't know. But, you know, we got to have the latest, greatest stuff. Did you sell everything you had and come follow Jesus? The mindset of the world is about possessions. Jesus' mindset is this. Possessions mean nothing. Eternal life means everything. Your possessions, you know what? They can come get it. They can have it. Someone can have it. They can take it if they want to, but my mindset ought to be Jesus first. My mindset should be gospel first. My mindset should be that all those things mean nothing. But America has the mentality of give me, or I'll take it. And more. We got to have more. We got to have more power. We got to have more juice. We got to have more money. We got to have more electricity. We got to have more possessions. We got to have all the stuff more. And Jesus says those things, even when, now listen to me, even when it comes to your family, take a back seat to the gospel. Did you hear me? Even faith takes a back seat. It's pretty deep, Mark. All my possessions. And I've worked pretty hard. I'm 53, getting up to 54, a few more weeks. What am I going to do when I retire? I'm not going to retire. Yeah, focus. So I'm going to downsize, sell everything so that I can make it some more. Then we talked this morning, she said, we supply all of our needs. You mean if I'm following Jesus like I should be, he's going to supply my needs? Not my wants. You mean if I put family second, put God first, and I get things in line, we come under that line, that he'll take care of my family? God first. Rich young rulers. He wants that mindset out of us. He wants you, everyone that's in here to have Jesus first. God, right now, if you called me to go to Timbuktu, I'd load up and go. That's the mentality. Terry's doing, where's she going this summer? Honduras. Dad trying to pray her out. I told the story once, I'll tell it again. I told Mom and Dad I felt God called me in the ministry. Mom prayed that it wasn't going to be Africa. Because, you know, the big thing with Africa is lions and tigers. So all your possessions. Go to college. I kind of wonder how many of us would go. You know what we do when we do that? sell it? Could you sell everything? One of the hardest things, one of the hardest things that we had to do was, when my father-in-law died, was to pack everything that my mother-in-law had left after we got rid of everything. I mean, we got rid of a lot of stuff because I had a lot of possessions. Put it all into one house. And she moved in for a month. It was sad. The tears that were shed. I don't know what to get rid of that. Where did we put it? And then to take two households and move it into our basement. I'm talking dumpsters of stuff that we said, we don't need it. That was hard. But could we do that for the gospel? Church, it's time to do some internal checks. Because I gotta wonder, even for myself down, are we just playing church? Or are we really living it? Rich young ruler.